Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of the Broadcast, where we give you bite-sized bits of best practices to help you be a better leader and a more effective communicator. I'm your host, Jarrett Brough. Each week here on the Broadcast YouTube channel, we pose a question and we ask you to comment and give us your opinion and best practices. Our question this week is, should men wear makeup in a media interview? Should men, us, the guys, wear makeup in a media interview? My buddy Bill says, take the advice of the studio makeup artist. As long as there's no maple syrup involved on your face, a little pancake on the face certainly can help. Brad says, yes, a little man cake never hurts. Remember the Nixon-Kennedy debates. If you don't know the story of Nixon-Kennedy, there was a debate between President Kennedy, then candidate Kennedy, Senator, and Richard Nixon. If you listen to it on the radio, people thought Richard Nixon had the best points and won the debate. But if you watched it on TV, people perceived John Kennedy won. That's because John Kennedy had makeup on, Richard Nixon was running a fever, was sweating, had a very heavy black beard, and made him look basically like a gangster in one of those old 1940 gangster movies. So makeup made a difference in the TV medium there. Doug says that he agrees some powder is always helpful and should be used. Steve says you don't have to, but when they see the footage with makeup included, they're going to wish that they had makeup. He says at least pancake will get rid of the shine. You want to get shine strips as well. This one's hard to read. Gail, his pronunciation there. Gail says she agrees with Steve and Doug and says that we live in a visual world where being well-groomed is an important part of the message. TJ Walker, my buddy from New York, who's also a media trainer like me, says always, but preferably not orange. We're going to come back to that orange in a minute. And Hamilton, my buddy out in California, says in his case, he absolutely thinks that you should because lights wash out the natural color. So, in every media interview, that depends. If you're outside, you need it less. However, you should have a couple of tools with you. Among them, powder, loose powder, and a brush. Regardless of where you are, you're going to have some shine. Okay, if you're out in the sunlight, you're going to shine across here, you're going to shine here, possibly some grease spots there. Pressed powder and a simple, I've got no mirror to know if this is working, but see, I don't even have any on under these lights, and I intentionally didn't today because I wanted you to see whether or not we can make a difference. But these beard areas and the shine areas are the areas that you want to get. Basically, think of this powder as sucking up grease if you're outside. Now, if you get inside a studio, what happens is lights pierce through your skin. This is true for men and women. Some of the most beautiful women I've ever known look horrible on camera when they don't have proper studio makeup. And there is a difference between studio makeup and what you wear in the street or what a gal would wear to the office. Think of it like this. An onion has many layers that you peel. Bright TV lights shine through the layers of the onion. They'll go 4 or 5 layers down and expose what's underneath. So for a gal, it might be a liver spot or an age spot, and the same would be true for a guy. But with a guy, it pierces through to the lower layers of your beard, and your beard appears to be blue. So if you know anything about color, the opposite of blue is orange on the color wheel. So TJ Walker made a reference that you don't want to necessarily use orange. But if you're in a studio, see this? This is called beard concealer. You would then have to go back on top of that with something that matches your skin color to try to cover that. And then you got to go back on top of that with powder so that hopefully it doesn't show up. That's a lot of work. And that means that you usually need a pro, because what happens is if you're in a TV studio, once you put on some makeup, then you have to put on more makeup, because if the makeup colors then get too heavy and too pancakey, now you have to enhance the cheekbones and you have to go with the neutral color on the lips. It can be complicated. I was never good at it. I always looked horrible in the studio when I would anchor the news if I did my own makeup. So, do men need to wear makeup in an interview? If it's outside, a little powder that doesn't show can be useful to get rid of the grease. If it's inside, under bright lights, heavier makeup is required. You need a professional TV makeup artist, not just a makeup artist like you would find in the shopping mall. Makeup for going to the office for a gal and makeup for a man in the studio are not the same skill sets. You do look better, you appear more credible if it's done right. Thanks for all of your observations and opinions this week, and you can have these funny pictures of me because I have no idea what this looks like right now. And you can make fun of it by sharing it on social media. For the Brocast, I'm Jarrett Broe.